The busy road before us morphs to gorse and broom, sheep in grass, cottagers spinning and weaving, till Colchester looms at last, its Norman castle high above the crumbling Roman wall, and houses scattered down to the river Colne, the port of the Hythe, the town a full mile from side to side. Colchester. First Camulos, then Camulodunum, some even say it was Camelot, was famous for its oringos, roots of sea holly dug up like fingers, and candied pink or red. Then just outside the walls, the Lucas estate, St. John's Green. Once the Abbey of St. John the Baptist, my great-grandfather bought it in 1548 for £132. Dovecots, farmland, a kitchen garden, cows. Over time it was transformed, from monastery to great house, from simple green space to what one visitor would describe as a scene of rosemary cut out with curious order, in satyrs, centaurs, whale and half-men horses, and 1,000 other counterfeited courses. In other words, a gentleman's estate, the relevant gentleman being Thomas Lucas, my father. So this is where I was born. With its gable tops and chimneys, gatehouse and stables, queens dined at St. John's Green, where swords and axes shined from walls. Other walls shone with brightly coloured silks, windows with damask. Tables were laid with Turkey carpets, and an enormous golden salt cellar stood at the master's right hand, while a master lived, that is. For poor father died unexpectedly one morning, as I, his youngest daughter, toddled the garden path. There'd been a party, my second birthday. Orange ribbons twisting down from trees. As for our mother, she was beautiful beyond the ruins of time. None of her children would be crooked, of course, nor in any ways deformed. Neither were we dwarfish, or of a giant-like stature, but proportional, with brown hair, sound teeth, sweet breath, and tunable voices, not given to walling in the throat, I mean, or speaking through the nose, unless we had a cold. Yet we were none so prone to beauty as she, and I, perhaps, least of them all. I had no dimples, my mouth was wide, my hair grew crimped and fierce as wild lettuce from my head. A summer afternoon, age 9, sitting first beneath French honeysuckle, then moving nearer the brook to observe butterflies that gather at pale daffodils, a dead sparrow spotted along the way, and a sonnet begun upon the ability of a sparrow to suffer pain. I, Margaret, queen of the tree people, discovered an invisible world. There, on the surface of the water, river foam bubbles encased a jubilant cosmos. Whole civilizations lasted for only a moment. Yet from the creation of one of these bubble worlds to the moment that world popped into oblivion, the bubble people within it fell in love, bore children, and died, their bodies decomposing into a fine foamy substance that was then reintegrated into the foamy infrastructure of the world, as the bubble children grew up and bore children of their own, and died, and were integrated into the sky and air and water, and even into the furniture, which was itself a fine foamy substance that the bubble folk called coffee. In this world, wild horses ran on open fields, and sermonized in church on Sundays, speaking always with great eloquence on vast and noble subjects, such as germination, or giving first-hand descriptions of remote landscapes as seen from the eyes of a running horse. The blur of grasses, wind in the nostrils, how a bee will sometimes bump against your forehead. Standing at the brook that day, creating and destroying this place via the tip of my new leather boot, I began to contemplate all the creatures I had ever killed. innumerable spiders creeping the nursery floor, beetles and slugs in the kitchen garden, a mouse once, which startled me as I slept,